Welcome back to Couch Sessions. Today I'm joined with Sydney DJ producer Mark Wildman. I was lucky enough to be invited into his studio to talk to this legend face to face, and we talk about what it's like starting a music career at the height of COVID back in 2020 and what we can expect from him in 2021. Don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to Couch Sessions on your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget to check out the Patreon at patreon.com/Couch Sessions. And enough of the bullshit. So without further ado, find the comfy spot on the couch and let's get it. Hey Mark, thanks for coming on, man.
No worries, dude. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with where it all began. What made you want to start producing and what got you into music?
Oh, I think if we were to think far back, it would have been probably when I started really finding music after high school, I reckon. Just getting into dance music and then getting old enough to go out clubbing. I remember a girlfriend I was seeing at the time, this was kind of funny, was like, you hadn't been to the city yet clubbing. And I was like, nah. I'm from the Northern Beaches. So, either you didn't really leave the beaches or you were the ones that you go and explore. Right?
Were you a Shark Bar local?
Of course, when I was there. Yeah. But I mean, staying, Mona Pub was, definitely one of the old holes. But yeah, so we went to Tank nightclub one night. And back in the day, this was one of, Sydney's best nightclubs. I highly rate it. And yeah, as soon as I went there, hooked. I was like, this is great. This is sick. I love dance music. And then, yeah, from there, it was just getting into different genres, finding my way into hardstyle and hardcore. And it was always a passion to go, oh, really cool to know how to do that, how to mix, make music, And, I'd always been someone that records sounds and not really do anything with them and things and stuff like that. Yeah, and then Easter 2019 finally, went, let's just take the leap and give it a crack. And I bought a mixer just to learn the purpose of DJing. And it started from there. Loved it, hooked it, picked it up. And by the time I got pretty much good, we had a house party. Someone poured a glass of wine on the jog wheel and the mixer died at the party. I was destroyed. Yeah, and it got to the point where, all right, guys, leave.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. The party's over.
I'm done.
Fucking get out. So that was getting in for repairs. And while it was getting repaired, I decided to open up the laptop. And I had GarageBand on my computer. The whole thing, every app, plug-in, whatever came with it was there. All the samples. And yeah, I thought, let's give it a crack. Let's make music. And it clicked. I just started getting hooked to it and getting more, I'm going to say better and better. And it got to the point of I want to buy Logic. So I bought Logic. So, which is technically where GarageBand is the demo of Logic. And that's the DAW I use to make music. And now I'm familiarized it. And it's 2020 roll around and I had a couple of releases on a Portugal label. Just grinding hard, man, trying to find the sound. And now I'm hooked.
Well, considering you started technically, we'll say a year ago, because 2020 didn't count.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I get what you mean.
You've come so far. You've got a bunch of releases on a Portugal label, and I'm sure you have a lot of unreleased music that you're getting ready to release through 2021.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff happening, that's for sure.
You've got a bunch of shows lined up.
Yep. Yeah, there's some cool little shows coming up.
Any you can speak on?
I can speak of the old South Socials house party coming up. I don't know if there's any tickets available, but apparently I heard it's possibly sold out, which is pretty cool.
It's decent.
Yeah. So that's gonna be cool. 2:30 a.m. set. So they want me to play some techno, so we're gonna bring it. That's for sure.
How would you describe your sound? Because you have a very unique, industrial-ish, hard-driven sound. How would you describe it to someone who has never heard of Mark Wildman?
Well, obviously going on my background of hardstyle and hardcore, I've always loved heavier music, essentially. Even from rock music, metal bands, stuff like that. Like just sort of every now and then I had like a big range of music I liked. And with making my music, I'm kind of making a more heavier industrial version of it. Like I think Sydney doesn't have many people kind of making this sort of sound, if that's a sense. Like it's still quite underground. Where like places like Berlin, Holland, things like places like that, even Prague, like the heavier music it's all there. So I'm quite inspired by that European sound. And I just like hard music. I love rave music. And now I'm trying to like craft my own sort of style of it with elements of like hardstyle, hardcore, things like that, yeah.
I've got two things on that. One, given the chance tomorrow, would you pack up and leave to Europe?
I mean, look, I normally travel to Europe once or twice a year anyway as a holiday, which is now... what's a holiday?
Yeah.
Look, if it was to turn the hustle into the job, which is the dream, sure. Like, definitely would do it. I'd give it a go. I mean, me and my partner want to move overseas, maybe try living there for a bit, like both with her business and mine. That's like sort of one of those dream things. It's a tough question. Drop everything and bail. Look, it's a good dream to say yeah to do it.
Yeah.
But it'd be like I'd have to plan that motherfucker out. Like it wouldn't be we're going tonight, even though I have ADHD and I'm going to do things straight away. It wouldn't be on the spot. Yeah.
With your ADHD, do you find it difficult to, or do you find it as a benefit to make music? What are your challenges with your?
It's definitely has a big pro about it with the creativity level and how open your mind can be when I'm constantly creating. Like it's a non-stop thing, which is really cool. But the hard part is sometimes you can have way too many ideas in one, and you can't grasp hard enough on just one at the time, and you can get easily distracted on that. So I think planning out a studio session these days is definitely a must on my thing in my work process, I reckon. Like, have the whiteboard out, have a whole bunch of stuff, make sure like we're doing this tonight, rather than come in here and I can get so lost and I can end up in a grumpy mood or a good mood. It shifts.
Just in here fucking around, just hitting the keyboard.
4 hours goes by and you can be like, what have I done?
Just an empty
void of cool stuff, but nothing really locked.
And how do you balance that with a relationship? How do you balance your production and in the studio time with a relationship?
My relationship?
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, my girlfriend, we both got hustles, and I've got my music, and she's got her company, and we both thrive on pushing your dreams and passion, right? We both have that energy about us, and I think when she's in her hustle, I'm there to push. When I'm in my mode, she's there to push, and it's a really good bond. And as well, she really gets me with how I am personally, and she's seen this talent that I've opened up, and she's just like, you got to go for this, and I think that's probably makes the relationship stronger, I guess you would say. Yeah, it's a good bond.
Very good bond.
Very good bond. Yeah, very good bond, and I'm happy about it. Yeah.
I know a lot of relationships that have crumbled because of production. They've come to the point where it's me or music.
Yeah.
And people have picked music, hands down.
It happens not even just relationships, it happens with friends.
Yeah.
For some people, it's a thing. Yeah, it can crush a lot of people. I've got a few friends that were in the industry, and they went through the ups and took some shitty downs, and either didn't come back from it. You know what I mean? And that's history, and they've moved on with stuff. So, yeah, it happens. It's balance, man. I've got my time when I'm in the studio and focusing on music stuff, and then we're doing stuff all the time together. So, I think we both believe in we're a couple, we're a relationship, we respect that end of it, and also you got to remember, even if you're in a relationship, you're still an individual. So you're going to got to respect that. I think we both have that sort of sense of we got our things, but they work together at the same time. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's a lucky thing. I don't know. It works for us. Maybe for now. I don't know. You know, like, but I'm positive hopes on this.
Yeah. Literally, that work-life balance is everything.
It is, and it's the same thing like with my full-time job as well. Like, balance it in. I think maybe it's a gift. I got all this extra energy that helps me keep, like, you know, going. Yeah, but it's balance.
Yeah, because you're a very balancey person. Like, you're like
I can't sit still in this.
You're like 100 all the time. Like,
well, that's it. Like, that's sort of how I am. Like, if I'm happy, I'm at 110%. If I'm sad, I'm still at 110%. So like, it's like it can get tough, but yeah, no, I think as an adult, I think you do start to learn a bit more like balance, like working out what you want to do, especially with like stuff you're trying to follow how to do. Yeah.
And have you ever decided, fuck it, I'm done? Like, you've only been around for, we'll say 2 years, but have you ever just thought, no, I don't want to do this anymore? You ever thought about giving up?
I would say mini sparks of it, like, but it's like those where it's definitely to do with music. You just sort of like, oh, my music sucks. It's like, where's this going? You know, like little moments of that, like you think, or you're like, I'll get it where I have a track that's probably done, right? And I've heard it so many times, and then I start overthinking the whole situation of it, and then you start flipping the track going, nah, it's now crap. And then that triggers little moments of like, oh, like, is this worth doing? But I get only little moments of it. Like, honestly, like, I feel really connected to music, and it's, I don't get dark thoughts of thinking, nah, stuff this, I'm fucking done. That's it. Nah, I've had a lot of that through life, through other things. I'm done with that. Yeah. And
just on that, what does music mean to you? Like,
freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom and calm. Yeah, freedom and calm, and then like just it's good. You listen to it, you feel good. You set your mind in different, like, for what you listen to, whatever like the sound at the time is, and it can set your mood. I mean, like, you know, sometimes some people listen to angry stuff when you're angry. Some people listen to angry stuff when you're happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's how you feel, and if you're feeling good at that moment with what you're listening to, go with it. And like, that's how I feel with music. It's like, I use music a lot as probably like a good calm reset sort of thing. Especially if I go to the gym. Go to the gym, put my headphones in. If I forget my headphones, I'm going home. Like,
what, you don't like the gym music?
No way.
No.
The gym at the moment, like, I think the other day I was trying to listen to a friend's set, and on the gym speaker, it was above my head, give it, but I'm not a fan of pop music. No. So, well, some pop music, whatever, it's alright. Like, but what was playing, I don't remember what was playing. I don't need to remember what was playing, but I could hear it through my headphones, and it was like, nah, mood's gone.
Isn't that the saying that if you can hear it, it's too loud? Like, if it's through your headphones, it's too loud. 100%.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Like,
anyway.
It was like, and I didn't want to turn up my headphones more because it's like, I respect volume levels, and obviously I want to protect my ears.
You shouldn't have to. Defeats the purpose.
Exactly. But yeah, no. Yeah. Moving on. No more pop.
On that second thing that I was discussing before,
yeah.
Why techno? Because you were around hardstyle.
Why techno?
Why techno?
That is a good question. And an artist friend of mine, Amavi, would be definitely the blame to showing me more to techno than what I perceived. So basically, I love my hardstyle. I love my hardcore. Like I'm a hard bass junkie. I love it, right? And then I have my likings of certain techno, mainly a lot of older stuff, like the 90s like era, like, but like never followed it, if that's a sense, right? And like maybe dabbled in on Spotify every now and then with sort of like the algorithm playlists. And then my friend Amavi, he's a melodic techno DJ and producer.
Yep.
And he was like, we caught up one time because I started getting the music. He hit me up. He goes, "You've been doing this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I sent him some stuff, and he was helping me along the way with the mixing part of it, with the turntables or the decks. And we met at a hardstyle event. Right, this is how our friendship started. Like, and we're the same, right? Like, and we were in a pool in Croatia having a gabba. You know what I mean? Like, this is how we met. And he was like, dude, you're getting really good. And like, I was just making stuff at the start. This is the very start. And she's like, come to this techno event with me. All right, cool, I'll come. Like, because this is what he was into. He shifted, because he went to Ibiza and fell in love with it. Right. Yeah. And I've been there, but back when I visited, like, we were in, I think music was a little bit different at certain clubs. And like, I was like, went out this one night and I loved it. And I just sort of like, because I started getting into music, and I don't know, the way I see techno is obviously because there's such stretched out tracks that kind of really tell a story. And I find a lot of music now, even like hardstyle, the song lengths, like hardstyle, like tracks used to be longer. Let's just say that, right? Now you listen to a song and you might hear 4 minutes and then it's over. Like where techno tracks were longer and people were mixing them out and using like, it was a journey. It was different. It was a new journey, and that's how I was hearing the music. And I was like, sick. But then, like, I do like melodic techno, don't get me wrong. But I was like, I'm going to make hard techno. And then that's what brought me into really going, like, all right, I like hardstyle. And I started just, like, literally trying to watch tutorials on how to make certain kick drums and make things sound dirtier and trying different tempos. And, yeah, here we are today, hooked on hard, banging industrial techno.
So you haven't had any schooling or teaching or anything? This is all self-taught?
I self-taught myself this. Like, it's just, I took the big liking to it, and this is what happens. When I like things, and if I really like them, I'm glued to them, you know what I mean? And yeah, like, just put some time and effort into my lunch breaks watching tutorials and content on how to use a compressor and basically a limiter within like a software, and like what it does to sound and etc. etc. And then I go home, get into the studio, implement it, like, and just kept rinse and repeat. And yeah, like, it feels nice to really actually have a bit of focus for once on something that's hard to gather.
Very,
very hard to gather. Like sound design and all that sort of stuff. It's a matrix, mate.
I tried it a couple of years ago. Wasn't for me. So then, now I podcast. So it's definitely for people with a mindset of this is interesting. Like, it interests me, but not for me.
Yeah, it's another twist to it from just going, I'm interested in it, to whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go further.
There's a lot of steps.
Yeah. That's it.
At what point would you say that you've made it in your career? Like, when you get to that point, what would you say, like, what is the make or break for you?
What would be the make or break? Look, obviously to turn this into a career that would be a wage, that'd be awesome. Like, that'd be cool. Yeah. Of course, like we're all human. We all want to make money and succeed. Like, of course I want to make money out of this, like, somehow. But for once in my life, just doing this, like, just making music, getting music out there, mixing, all that sort of stuff, like, I haven't really been thinking about the money, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, I'm a hard worker. Like, I work hard for my money daily. But yeah, no, just doing this, it's like, in here in my head, I haven't really been actually pondering about the money side of it, which is, it's kind of nice, right? I guess, like, thinking it on the full artist perspective and feeling. Yeah, like, it would be a lot of hard work to get to that point, I think. Like, and to make that step, I don't know.
Because you're just breaking through.
Yeah.
Do you find it difficult breaking into the music scene?
Yeah, I think it's like, it is and it isn't. It's like, I think if you've got to tolerate people. And obviously there's all different types of characters and egos in this industry, that's for sure. Yeah. But what I've found, I come from the motor industry, and like the politics and ego, and that is...
Yeah.
Every industry is going to have an ego and people and different like faces and vibes about it, right? And it's like, I think I have that knowledge and respect with people with the industry I've been in already. And I think my approach to it, I'm not afraid. Like, like, I'm ready to put myself out there and do stuff. And I mean, look, I'm a pretty good judge of character. Like, sometimes you got to work with shitty people, but you got to learn to just work with them.
Yeah.
And then move on.
Yeah.
Like,
stepping stone.
Right? Don't let the drama get onto you. Like, I've gone through so much drama growing up. I'm done with it. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not going to affect it. Drama's around. Like, but yeah, like, I think it's it's just a matter of meeting like more like people, connecting with the right people, show your face in the scene and stuff like that. And obviously, like, I'm doing my best to do that and trying to support a few. Like, I always support a lot of people in music, and as many venues and events as possible. But as well, like, I've got a full-time job, so it's like I got to balance that bad boy as well. So.
Absolutely, and the life, like, you can't be following gigs and raves and stuff around without anyone putting you on and just expecting to fork out, upwards of $20 for a night, and then you waste a whole night of production, and then you waste a whole day if you were drinking of recovery.
That's like, it. If you get too trapped into the party part of it. Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing as well. I think like doing this, but like I'm a bit older, like I'm producing all this music. I think I do love going out and having a bit of a party, but I think I respect doing the music and doing all this and like even my social media sort of stuff and where I'm at with it. I see it more of an adult respect level, like, more like about the game rather than the party. Like, I think that's like, don't get me wrong, love the party, but like the business side of, or like what you're doing, where the end goal is for it, a bit more serious about that, which is cool.
Being focused on the vision.
The vision. Yes, that's it. The end of the tunnel.
Who are your inspirations?
My inspirations? I get the scroll out.
All right, we'll say top 5.
Top 5? I'll just break it down in sort of genres, I reckon. So like Headhunters for like, hardstyle and melodic and just melody, just his sound. Like his sound in general would definitely be an inspiration. An Aussie artist, Audio Freak. Yep. He's actually from Sydney, but lives in Amsterdam, and he's massive hardstyle, happy hardcore, now hardcore, amazing producer. Yep. Let's just say he's an amazing producer. Absolutely. Both of them, Headhunters and Audio Freak, absolute freaks. T78 is a Italian techno DJ. I'm originally a hardstyle DJ. He's a massive inspiration, definitely. Some female artists, definitely a massive inspiration, like Charlotte DeWitt, Emily Lenz. What's another one? Oh my god, now I've forgotten the name. Oh, I'm sorry, Nina Kravitz. She's a Ukrainian DJ, hectic DJ and producer. She's really good. Like the female artists are just as inspiring as the male, I would say as well. Like there's some weapon women DJs out there, man.
Absolutely.
Like killing it. And I think just to name a few, they would be up there. And trying to think who else in my artist sort of collection. And Deadmau5, I reckon, as a producer and just his vision with sound. I think Deadmau5 is one. I wouldn't say I like all of his music, but a lot of it and some of the stuff I've watched him make and stuff like that is really like, oh wow, this guy's like, he loves his shit.
Absolutely. He dropped a single with Rez. I don't think you could collaborate any better. Like that.
It was good.
Wow, absolutely. If you could collaborate with anyone, dead or alive, one person. I'm limiting you to one person. None of this fucking
dead or alive
scroll shit. All right, we'll say alive. Like if someone had to slide alive into your DMs now saying, let's do a track, who would you want that to be?
T78.
Yeah.
For sure. 100%. Like, as a producer and artist, he's sick. But as a person, I reckon he'd just be funny to get to know. I see him on his socials and he seems like a pretty cool dude. So I reckon, 100%. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also as well, I love the sound that come from his label. Like, filthy artists and filthy tracks are on that label. Or Techno is sick. That's the label. Sorry.
Do you have any inspiration for, or any tips or tricks to give to anyone who wants to start production or get into the music scene?
If you're thinking of doing it, give it a crack. But obviously, like, within, like, it can be expensive, buying some software or this and that. Like, you can do it on the cheap by just giving it a crack and see if it clicks. Like, don't be like me and wait it out a bit and be like, oh, I might give it a go, and then finally, like, oh, I'm a bit older now, I'll give it a go. Just give it a crack. Like, Try it. Like, I mean, I open up GarageBand. It's free on Apple, on your MacBook. If you've got a MacBook Pro, it's free. It's on there, in the App Store. Like, download it, give it a crack, and then like, mate, you can make a banger probably off it. Do you know? Like, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's honestly doesn't matter what. Like, as a producer, it doesn't really matter the battle with what software's the best, right? It's literally iPhone, Samsung.
Exactly.
They're a phone. They do a thing. They do this. If you like this one, you're fine. But like the only way to find out is give it a go. And and like don't be like stressed up with what am I making? Like what genre does this have to be? Or like just give it a go. If you've got an idea of how you think something sounds, just watch a tutorial even. Type it on YouTube. How do I make a 125 BPM house track?
Yep.
Content's there.
It's all there.
Watch the video.
So much shit
and then
on YouTube.
give it a crack.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I can say. It's just like, take the leap, give it a go.
With technology, Apple or Android?
I am Apple.
Apple?
I use Apple because obviously I use Logic as my software, and like I just think, I don't know. I used to be. I've switched between both, and I think, let's see, when the iPhone 7 come out? That's probably when I switched back. Yeah, right? Like, you're thinking now. That's when I went back to Apple, I think. Like, if we're talking technology. Look, it doesn't faze me. Like, I mean, if I was to switch back to a Samsung tomorrow, I'll probably hate the thing. Before you know it, you give it a month.
Yeah.
You're like, I love this phone.
I like how everything connects with Apple, Like,
it does.
You've got it on your Mac, you've got it on your phone. It's the best thing ever.
It's all linked.
Yeah.
It's all linked up. But you know what? It's like you can get a Samsung set up with Windows and you can set that up too. It's like they're both the same. They just do it differently. I think Apple have it more in a visual way. Like they're very fancy with some of their like brightness and stuff on their screen, and like apps are really like, well, this app looks nice in your face. You know what I mean? Like there's some of the plugins on Logic that are factory, and you just like. Even my mate the other night, I was helping him finish a song for him. And he was like, Apple's fucking really pretty, isn't it? Like, he goes, this is better than what I'm fucking looking at. And I'm like, this is a standard plug-in thing, man. So, yeah. Apple's same.
Looks pretty to other people, but same shit to you.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Look, mate, if it does the job, it does the job.
Absolutely.
But I agree with, like, I think where I'm at, I'm comfortable with how I'm using my technology and studio setup at the moment.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hands down?
Hands down.
Easy.
I like I said, I actually am a bit of I love games. I'm more of a single player game player. I love like open world crazy shit.
What are you playing at the moment?
At the moment, Death Stranding. Death Stranding, I think that's what it's called. Death Stranding. I don't know, I just bought it. I've been producing, so I've only got like I think maybe 4 hours in. And then I've been locked to the studio. So I just finished The Last of Us 2.
How was that?
Epic.
Yeah.
One of the best games I've ever played. And like, I'll definitely play it again. Like, too. I finished the first game, I think, 2 or 3 times. And, yeah.
Dedicated, jeez.
It's, dude, honestly, out of like, in terms of games, it's probably one of the best, like, movie monologue based, horror, post-apocalyptic game. But, like, post-apocalyptic. So basically, the disasters happened and the world's moved on.
Yeah.
That's basically how it goes. It's like...
I never vibed the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
The EB Games guy looked at me like, are you serious? You're probably like the one in a million, like, who didn't vibe it. I'm like, I just didn't like it.
Fair enough.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah, well, like, look, if you didn't vibe the first, then there's no point me explaining the second. So it's like...
I played the second.
Did you like the second, though?
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't like the first story, then you're not going to like the second one.
Look.
Because it continues it.
YouTube hypes everything up, They always make shit look pretty.
That's true. There's a game called Days Gone, and it's another zombie one. I remember buying it, all the trailers, all this hype on it. And it's still a pretty cool game. But when you got it and you played it, you're like, man, the YouTube videos were so much better.
Yep.
And I hate that. Yeah, I have to put like the hype. Fuck the hype.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But then again, the hype's good. If I'm trying to hype music, it's like you need hype.
Yep.
So...
You need a hype man.
Hype man. Yeah.
You need PlayStation people to hype you up. They can hype up games for days. They need to hype you up.
Honestly, with the whole music thing, that was one kind of idea I thought of wanting to kind of make music for video games.
Yep.
Because like I make dark techno, right? Like, and I have dark vibes, dark atmospheres, and like a lot of games. They're like the games I like preferably, like, and there is a lot of games on both platforms that have like, you listen to the music in the background, and some like Cyberpunk, for example, the soundtrack for that is actually made by Nina Kravis. Most of the tracks on it, and obviously other artists, but she helped collaborate it and put it all together. And I'm gonna be mad to make some stuff like that, even just sound effect stuff. Like spooky room in a cave, and you hear like, some screech in the distance.
What's the false idea of being an artist? Like, what's something in the industry that people think is what artists do? And how they make money.
I think I kind of get your question. That's kind of like that. You see someone doing well on Instagram, right? And you're like, this guy's killing it. What am I not doing? Exactly. But in real life, probably isn't.
Yep.
And like, I think that comes down to be genuine and humble with your content. I reckon. I mean, like, I couldn't be any more general. I mean, like, I do what I want on my socials. If you're following along, like, and you like what's up, then keep following. But I don't know. Yeah, I think just. Yeah, like I think that's what some people see a lot of artists. Like I can't even. I don't want to name any because it's like there's no point naming it, because that's cruel.
Yeah, you don't want to blacklist yourself.
You don't want to blacklist people, and myself. Like I think it's like that. It's definitely that world we live in where like you can be like seeing someone on like a celebrity or social, or someone that might be a celebrity, but like. It could be all fake. Like for example, like I've just been hit up recently, like the people that hit you up on Instagram that want to offer you like the
promotional shit,
promotional stuff.
Absolutely, I do that all the time.
Or what is it for followers and numbers on your stuff like that? And like I'd ignore them most of the time. It's like I'm nearly at 100. No, sorry, I'm nearly at 800 followers on my Instagram, which is pretty cool. But honestly, I know they're organic.
Yeah.
But
they're all people there for Mark Wildman. They're not there because someone has paid them to go and follow you or anything.
No. And as well, like, the big thing is like, you shouldn't worry about those numbers, like, so dramatically. That was a thing I watched in some sort of a artist inspirational content video of a friend once, and it was talking about that. The numbers are to do with your brand and what you're doing, of course, but you don't have to hyper-focus on them so much where they're super critical and it's like, you think that they are the biggest matter, which...
That and Spotify numbers.
That I've heard too.
They're not everything.
They're not everything, no.
You don't need 100,000 Spotify listeners to be able to sell out a show.
Yeah.
Because you said your show's almost sold out. Or not your show, but like the show you're
playing
at.
Yeah. And that is on the 8th of... next weekend? 8th. Yeah, the 8th of April. And... and like they literally, I think, nearly sold out 2 days ago. And I was like, wow. Like, I mean, look, the vibe's back. Sydney's like, it's slowly open up. You're right, it's opening up and things are happening, which is really nice to see. Nice to see the scene come back after. I mean, I've seen it fall twice with the lockout laws.
Oh.
And like, with the passion I have with music. And then bloody COVID happens after like they kind of like lockout laws faded a little bit into the distance.
They were about to bring it back.
Like they did, and it's over now.
It back, and then COVID is just like, here it is. Here's another.
Here's another slap to the face, guys. Like, even though it's just already on the ground.
But even with COVID, you got the people saying, "Oh, you musicians, you make money from music, Spotify streams." But Spotify pays, 0.015 cents to the dollar. Like, to every stream, you get nothing.
It's nothing. It doesn't exist.
It's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and they're raking in the millions.
Absolutely,
billions.
Like your $11.99 monthly, premium, that doesn't go to the artist. It goes straight to the
CEOs.
Yeah. Pockets. Their new yacht, private jet.
I think I had a mate the other day. It was like he was going to play on Bondi Beach Radio, Kieran Dunn, and he messaged me and he's like, "I'm going to play some of your tracks," and like. He's probably one of my favourite Irish friends I've got. And I was just like, and he was on Beatport. He's like, no, I'm going to get him. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I'll just send him. He goes, no. And he wanted to support. And I was like, probably not going to see, which is really sad. But and then calls me and like his computer was wigging out, this and that. And he eventually got them and he goes, next time, you know what? I'm just going to send you money. and then just give me directly, and I'll give you the tracks. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we had a bit of a laugh about that sort of topic, man.
Because it's very hard for artists to get a cent of what they pay, especially if you don't own your masters. Like, I'm doing a lot of research behind it on YouTube and stuff, and if you don't own your masters, you don't own shit, you know?
No, most contracts are offer people like a 50-50.
Yeah.
But it's like you have to be making a certain amount of revenue before you even see any part of your 50
Yeah.
right percent.
Absolutely.
Right? So yeah, I know it's a tough world. Like I said, I'm aware of that sort of stuff with the industry and all those sort of like stigmas and things like that. I'm trying not to stress myself too much about that. Right? Like I'm working hard. I mean, I guess stay cautious and like maybe focus on later on releasing my own things, or like just be smart about what contracts you read and write and sign up to.
Exactly.
Yeah, like read the small print.
I only say this because you were talking about video games, and that would class under a sync deal, and that's where the money is. Yeah. Sync deals are where the money is. If you can get your track in a game, a movie, or an ad, you're going to make some type of money from it.
Yeah.
Every time that game sells,
that is your part for that.
You've made money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely be something to definitely look into, because I love video games. I love trying to fit that in, when I can. You know what I mean? Like, getting lost in a game can take a few hours away of your day. Or
it's definitely
night.
A good break.
It is. It's my break now from music. When I have a production stop, or I might have a bit of writer's block or something like that, I'll jump into a video game, jam out a few hours, and it's a good, like, or I might pick a week where, okay, no music this week. And then I'm like, I bought that game. There goes my week.
Your girlfriends will be like, I get to spend some time here. Game.
Nah, well, this is fair. I'll come home and be like, babe, it's a game night tonight. She'll be like, okay. Then the next time I'll be like, all right, let's chill. Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you watch on Netflix?
Currently? My missus picked something the other day. The Irregulars?
Yep, I've seen it.
I don't know, yeah.
Scroll past it. Any good?
It's alright, it's creepy. Yeah. It's like a Sherlock Holmes meets like demons and stuff. That's the only way I can put it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I can put it, yeah. No, it seems interesting. I mean, it's hard these days with TV. Like, you either find something that's really good and, like, how long it lasts, who knows, and then you're on the scroll again.
Yep.
Like...
it's sad. You can sit there and watch, like, 7 seasons of stuff in a weekend. Like, if you prep out your time.
Look,
and then it's like, that was 7 seasons? Well, I feel like shit.
And then it's like, there's nothing left.
Then you start mapping out the run times. Like, that's 20 minutes an episode, 7 seasons, 24 a season. Holy shit, what have I done with my life?
Look, I mean, like, I love, like, movies and, like, I love just older films and stuff like that, like all sci-fi. I mean, I'm a massive freak for like the Alien series, like that, and Predator. They're probably my favorite movies. And like, if I was to just pick like a series of movies to watch on loop as like a torture, it'd be those movies.
Would be classed as a torture then?
Well, that's it. They don't know that. Whoever's torturing.
Like, what movies do you really hate? Predator and Alien.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why Mark Wildman? Why would you use that as your stage name?
Why use the stage name?
Like, why
my own name is
your personal name as your stage name?
Look, I don't want to sound ego tripping. I like my last name, like Wildman. I mean, like I get every now and then, I've had like a cop once say to me, like says my name as he's reading my license, like at a breathalyzer, and he had to ask me, he goes, "Is that seriously your last name?" And I was like, "You're holding my license," like. And,
I hope so.
Yeah. And I was like, and then he was like, "That's sick." Like,
what name you got on there?
Yeah, and like, look, and as well, I'm proud of my last name. I love my father. He's a very, very inspiring man, and and like, I think even like just growing up as a kid, like you did get that little bit of a like, "Wild man," like it's like, or someone would say your name and like they'd probably come up with a cheesy joke. "Oh, I bet you're a wild man." Like, I mean, having been a bouncing ADHD fueled human being jumping around, it kind of fits in with the.
It just works perfectly.
It works.
Yeah.
It works. And then as an artist name, I thought. I tried to think of different names and like an alias name and stuff like that, and I came up with some cool names and things, right? And then I just thought, I like my own name. It's simple. It's me. I make music. This is me. I'm Wildman. Like,
yeah.
And then in Barcelona, I have it tattooed on my neck now. So I guess now getting that crazy tattoo in Barcelona a few years ago, now I'm an artist. I guess it pays off. It's kind of like a branding on my neck.
Yeah. It's like one of them rap artists nowadays.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, exactly. I just got in early.
Yeah.
Right before it all.
You started the trend.
Maybe.
How do you differentiate? Oh, fuck, that's a word. How do you split the difference between your personal Mark Wildman and your producer brand Mark Wildman?
It's probably a small split. Right? I'm pretty genuine. Like,
so what you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get. Yeah, definitely what you see is what you get. Sometimes you might not like what you get, but guess what? You're getting it.
Yeah.
Like, this is me. And I've always been like that. Like, I'm like a man of my word. Sometimes I'm the guy that you need to say what no one is going to say.
Yeah.
Right? And like, I've always been like that. Sometimes it's been not a good thing to be like that. But it's sometimes a good thing to be someone that was, you speak your mind, stick to your ground, like stick to your guts, and
it's hard being that person that's 100.
Yeah, and it's like to be like that, like sometimes to cop the repercussions or something like that of it. Yeah,
but that comes with age and what you've been through. That you look at and you're like, well, I just don't give a fuck anymore. Like this is it. Like here's me. This is what I got to say.
Pretty much.
I don't care what you think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm pretty fun. I'm pretty crazy. I mean, everyone has their bad moments and angry moments. I mean, like, I haven't been fair. I'm a bit grumpy. I will admit. Like, I'm getting pretty hungry now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap this up quick. Where can we find you on socials?
On my socials, type Mark Wildman, Spotify, SoundCloud. You'll see my face pop up. But if you follow me on Instagram, I've got a link tree in my bio. So basically, click that. It's all there. Like I said, Mark Wildman, type it in anywhere. My face will pop up. There's links everywhere.
And for your ever-growing fan base, what would you like to say to them?
Mate, for everyone that's is following along and sort of like loving the sound from here to LA to like people that I've connected with across the world, thanks for following. Thanks for liking my shit. Like, and hopefully once the world opens up a bit and I push towards bigger gigs, people can see us there. And I'll be screaming at them from the stage saying thank you. Yeah.
And to the people who aren't following, what are you going to say to them?
The people that aren't following, you're missing out. Like, I love rave music. Like, and like, I bring a good energy, man. Like, and people, you need people with good energy to spread that out, like, and make people feel good, like, and yeah, people that aren't following, you're missing out on it.
And this is straight personal. When's your next release?
Oh,
like, fuck. Drop something already.
I know. I need to finish something. Let's just say a month. Give me some month. I'll get my ass and put something out.
All right.
Yeah, or you're going to be like, hey, the month's up. Where's this release? Shut up. I don't like the track.
You've got to cut that from the podcast. It can't be in there.
It can't be in there.
I can't be accountable.
Yeah, I'm lying.
Oh, well, thank you for being the first live interview I've done.
Hey,
and
yay.
Thank you for your time.
No worries, man. Thanks for coming into the studio.
No, you're welcome. Thanks for having me in here.
No worries.
Easy.
See you, bro.